Black Clover was always one of my favorites. I started getting into the series after 5 episodes of the anime had already aired, and after binge watching those 5 episodes, I went and picked up the manga to read all the way till where it is now. Every time something big happened in the manga, it would always hype me up and made me look forward to it being animated. I remember all the times where I would tell my friends to start reading and watching Black Clover because I wanted them to see what the series has to offer and how much it has evolved from something that was once hated for following a formula that was overused into an engaging story that doesn't break from its own established rules but instead adds to the logic of the world, which makes the story feel much more real. First off, I want to talk about the anime original arc, which involved the Devil Believers. This arc managed to strengthen the theme of the story and also emphasizes how society is within the Clover Kingdom. We always knew that those with low mana were looked down upon. However, most of the story, we always see things from Asta's perspective. The thing about this is that Asta was able to change his situation because he was chosen by the 5-leaf grimoire, and despite this, he is still looked down upon by many of the other magic knights. So this makes us wonder, if Asta, a magic knight, is still being discriminated against, then what about those who, no matter what they do, still cannot change things for themselves? This, of course, was able to be answered within this anime original arc, where they showed a group of people with low mana start to get fed up with all the discrimination and hate that they receive. This leads them to look up to the devils, since Asta was able to become a magic knight with the power of a devil, despite being magicless. So after a lot of things happened, at the end, the ones that were left were allowed to leave the kingdom by basically risking their lives and travel through the high magic region just to be able to get to the Spade Kingdom, since there are devil users in the Spade Kingdom. I'm really glad that they added this extra arc which wasn't in the manga, because this arc was able to highlight the flaws in the Clover Kingdom's society, and also because of the devil believers, it motivates Julius to now finally go and create magic items and tools, just like what the first Wizard King was planning to do all along. Okay, so after we finish talking about the Devil Believers arc, let's talk about the current arc of the series, the latest arc. The episode that really let the tears start running down was when Yami was captured and we see Asta breaking down and realize how truly weak he is. Because it took everything that Yami and Asta had to take down one of the Dark Triad. Asta had to even sacrifice his arm to his devil to gain more power for a limited time. With Asta blaming himself for Yami getting captured, we finally get to meet Nagt, the vice captain of the Black Bulls, who has been undercover in the Spade Kingdom all this time. He reveals that he is also a devil user, but unlike Asta, Nagt has 4 different devils that he is contracted to and can use the powers of. So him knowing that Asta has a devil which has anti-magic, he agrees to teach and train Asta to fully control the full powers of his devil. So to me, this is the best reveal in the series so far, since we finally get to see who is the vice captain of the Black Bulls, and also it reveals the last member of the Black Bulls. So after meeting Nagt, he takes Asta to an isolated room and starts the devil binding ritual. This is when we see Asta's devil's true appearance. And we even learn that his name is Libe. So when I read the manga, one thing I've always wondered about was, what is Asta's real backstory and how did he end up at the church? Because we have already learned who Yuno is and how he ended up at the church, which actually explains why he has high mana and has very strong abilities, which is due to his royal heritage. So, Asta's history was finally revealed to us when we met Libe, and after meeting Libe, we learned a lot about the underworld that was cut out from the anime. But essentially, the underworld is a place where devils are born, and the underworld is a place with nothing, which makes it a very boring place. So to kill time, Stronger devils would terrorize the weaker devils, and the weaker devils would terrorize those weaker than them. So, with Libe being born with no magic at all, there was never a day where he didn't bleed from all the beatings he got from the higher ranking devils. We also learned that every devil craves to go to the human world, since to them, toying with humans is the greatest thrill any devil could get. And one day, a higher ranked devil threw Libe at the gate which keeps the two worlds apart. But since Libe had no magic, he was able to pass through the gate and enter the human world. However, he was hunted down by the humans, and when he was on the verge of death, a woman named Lysita saved him. So, this woman has the ability to put and take mana from items. However, a downside to her power is that she constantly takes magic and life from other living things around her, which is why she lives far away from towns. But because Libe is a devil and has no magic, he is not affected by her magic, which allows him to be able to live with her without any consequences. Then Lichita asks Libe to be her kid, and after living together, Libe is finally able to feel true happiness due to Lichita, but this works two ways because Libe also saved her from isolation, which is a really touching moment. The scene where Lichita gave Libe his name is actually anime original and was not in the manga. And I loved how the anime expanded the scenes where the two of them were together. However, those moments did not last since Lucifero, one of the highest ranking devils, managed to possess Libe and tried to manifest his own body in the human world. However, Lysita managed to use her magic and was able to absorb Lucifero's magic to save Libe. And this is when she recalls a moment where she left a child at the church and she was forced to leave her child there to protect the son from herself. So finally, solid evidence that Lysita is Asta's mother is given. However, her encounter with Lucifero caused her to gain a fatal wound, but before she dies, she managed to seal Libe into a 5-leaf grimoire so that he can't be possessed and he is able to grow up. Her death is what triggered Libe to truly despise devils and view all devils as evil. So, I believe that, to me, all this was really well done, and learning this history means that Asta is truly someone unfortunate, because it is highly likely that the reason why Asta has no magic is because Lichita's magic absorbed his when he was born. And this is also why Lichita left Asta at the church, because if not, she might have taken Asta's life as well. So maybe there might have been a chance that Asta originally had magic, but then it was lost due to Lichita. So after all this, we then see the amazingly animated fight between Libe and Asta, with Asta only having one arm, using Yami's sword and all the training and experience he has gained throughout his journey and the skills he had learned while fighting alongside powerful warriors to keep up, and is able to dodge and block all of Libe's attacks and was able to overpower Libe and win. And Asta, being someone who has a pure heart, thanks Libe for giving him the power of anti-magic so that he was able to fight and grow strong. Asta then befriends Libe and forms a contract that is balanced without him being Libe's master, but instead being his partner. This form of contract is incomplete, and this forces Asta to somehow learn how to draw out Libe's full power and use it without restraint. This is definitely one of the greatest arcs and is actually still going on in the manga. We managed to learn who Asta is, and now he has unknowingly finally met his adopted brother who is a devil. I heard that there will be a Black Clover movie, which is the sequel that is most probably going to cover the rest of this arc. I've heard that the Black Clover manga might be ending after this arc, but I really don't think so, because I feel that the story still has a lot that it can tell, and I'm sure that the story will end with Asta finally achieving to become the Wizard King, which is a reason why I doubt that the manga will end so soon. I'm sure that we all will really miss the Black Clover anime, because I sure will. And I'm pretty sure the manga will end when both Yuno and Asta become kings, with Asta being the Wizard King and Yuno being the king of the Spade Kingdom. But that's a story for another day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did. Comment down below for any video suggestions and more of these types of videos. If you want to support the channel, then please hit the subscribe button since it will mean a lot to me. And with that, goodbye my fellow Magic Knights.